Maybe you've been thinking about becoming a sleep consultant and now you're asking, can I actually build a business around this? Like, will people pay for this kind of support? And what should I even offer? And if that's you, well, you are not alone. These are some of the most common questions that we hear, especially from those people who are either just getting started or coming to us and deciding if this is the right path for them. And the truth is, there isn't one perfect way to do this, which is amazing, but there is a consultation model that will fit you, your lifestyle, your goals, and of course, your energy. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 consultation models that real sleep consultants are using right now to earn consistent income, including one that's surprisingly scalable, even if you're just starting out or you don't have a big audience. I'm also going to share 7 key questions to help you figure out which model is the best for you so you don't waste time on something that drains you, doesn't align with your life, or leaves you second guessing your next step. And this isn't just theory. Take Kim, one of our graduates, came to us. She was unsure, not just about what to offer, but how to make it work around her family. She didn't want to be on calls all day. She wanted a model that felt sustainable. And now she's offering longer, high-touch packages, and she works deeply with just a few clients every month. And recently she added group coaching to her business that's given her more reach and more freedom without burning out. And if you'd like support in figuring out how to make this work for you, there's a link below to book a free clarity call with us. And that's where we're going to talk through where you're at right now, what you're aiming for, and what might be the best next step. All right, so let's jump in to the first model and start mapping out a business that actually works for you. And that's in-person consultations. Now, this is likely to feel like the most familiar or natural option, especially if you've worked in a hands-on role before. So maybe midwifery or health visiting or the early years sector. And for some consultants, being in a room, seeing the space and observing what's happening with families in real time just feels easier when you're getting started. And it can be a really valuable way to build your confidence. Like you're responding on the spot, you're noticing subtle cues, and you're helping families feel supported, of course, face to face. But there are a few practical things to consider. So firstly, time and travel. So in-person support takes longer. You've got to factor in how far you're willing to travel. How many clients can you realistically see in a day, and how that affects your pricing. Secondly, earning potential. So consultants in our program who offer in-home visits often price these around £150 to £250, depending on what's included and how long they're with that family. But of course, the true cost would need to factor in your time and travel and of course, energy. Now, the third thing to consider is boundaries. So some people love this style of work and others find it like draining. So you've got to know which one you are. So if you're considering this model, like ask yourself, do I feel confident being in the room with families? Can I build my pricing around the time this takes? And does this work for my personal schedule and location? Okay, so in-person consultations can be a great starting point, but it's often just kind of one part of a wider business model, not the full picture for many of my grads, mainly because of the additional time and costs. Okay, so that's the in-person model. And for some of you, that might be a great place to start, especially if you're confident working face-to-face and you're local to a lot of your clients. But what if you're looking for more flexibility? Maybe you're juggling this business around family life, or you want to work with clients beyond your area, even nationally or internationally. And that's where the virtual consultation model comes in. And for many of our graduates, it becomes the foundation of their business. And there's a reason for that. They're flexible, practical, and far more scalable than in-person work. You're not dealing with travel, so you can support more clients in less time. And you're no longer limited to where people live. And of course, you can work with families across the country or even internationally from your home. And this model also fits well if you're balancing other commitments like school runs, part-time work, or caring for your own children. And many consultants choose to book calls during the day while their little ones are at nursery or school, or in the evenings once the house is quiet. And obviously, you do need to align this with your clients' needs too, but this model gives you more freedom to shape a schedule that works for both sides. Now, pricing for virtual consultations can vary quite a bit. So some consultants offer a one-off, so 60-minute session for around £75 to £125, especially when they're just starting out or they're focusing on one specific issue. And some consultants create a more comprehensive package. So that might be a one-off call and then a sleep diary analysis and then follow-up support, which might be priced anywhere from £250 to £600 plus, depending on experience and the level of support you're including. So you don't have to decide on a fixed format straight away. You can just start small and adapt it as you grow. And one of the benefits of virtual work is that it's easy to tweak your offer over time as you build your confidence. And if you're wondering whether virtual sessions really feel personal enough, they absolutely can be personal. But you can still build real connections through video calls. You can see your clients pick up on the tone and the body language and create a supportive environment even from a distance. And actually most families are very comfortable with this format now. It's just kind of become part of everyday life. And you might find it helpful to pause here and ask yourself a few things. What time of day am I realistically available to work with families? Would I prefer to support one client deeply at a time or run shorter sessions with more flexibility? And what would feel like a fair starting price for a virtual consultation session based on your current experience and energy? And do I feel confident delivering support through video, or is that something I want to practice and grow into? So there's no right or wrong answer here. The goal is to start where you are and then build from there. So if you're looking for a way to grow your business around your family, minimize overheads, and support more clients without overextending yourself, virtual consultations are likely to be the core of your business. Or if you're not quite ready to offer video calls, or if you're working with families who prefer something simpler, you might also consider offering phone consultations. It's not the main model most consultants build their business around, but it can be a really helpful option to have, either as part of your packages or as a flexible alternative when needed. All right, so let's take a look at where this model fits in. So this model works really well for families who aren't keen on the tech or who might find a video call a bit much. And honestly, some people just want to talk on the phone. And there's also a lot of flexibility here, of course. So you can take the call from anywhere. You can fit it in between school runs or during quieter moments in your day. And of course, you can schedule it easily without the need to be, camera ready or screen sharing. And I found that some consultants use phone sessions as a standalone service, often priced around £50 to £150 for a one-off hour-long call, and others include them as part of a wider package. For example, offering follow-up phone calls after a virtual consultation or using them as quick check-ins between written support. That said, it does have its limitations. Like, you don't get the visual cues that could be really useful when working with families. You can't demonstrate things easily, and it's harder to read body language or build that deeper connection, especially if you're working with someone new. So while phone consultations can be a helpful option, especially for lighter touch support, I usually recommend they kind of sit alongside another core model rather than being the main focus of your business. Okay, next up, group workshops. So group workshops are a brilliant way to reach more families at a single session, especially if you enjoy teaching or want to build confidence speaking to groups. So you might run these kind of sessions at a community center or online using Zoom. And some consultants offer free sessions as a way to build visibility, while others charge something like £10 to £50 per person, depending on the length and the topic. And what works best is keeping it focused, like doing a 60-minute session, just on a single topic. And that way families get real value and you're not trying to cover everything. You're not going too broad. And this is always a great way to introduce your one-to-one service. So when someone learns from you in a workshop setting and finds it helpful, they're more likely to want to work with you privately. And you can absolutely partner, with a local baby group or nursery to help promote your session. But in this model, you're still the one leading it. So the content, the structure, and the outcome are yours. And if you're looking for a way to grow your reach without adding more one-to-one hours, and you like the idea of sharing practical support within a group, this is a model to explore. So before you decide if group workshops could work for you, here are a few questions to consider. Do I enjoy teaching or guiding small groups of parents? Is there a specific sleep issue I feel confident exploring in a focus session? And would I feel more comfortable running a workshop myself or co-hosting with someone else to start with? And even starting small with just a few families can help build confidence and trust. All right, so while running your own workshop is a great way to build visibility, sometimes the most effective way to grow is by stepping into someone else's space. And that's where collaborations come in. So collaborations are about plugging into existing communities by partnering with other professionals or organizations who are already working with your ideal client. So this might look like being invited to offer a short sleep Q&A in a breastfeeding support group, or joining a postnatal yoga class to share a few tips as a guest expert. It could be running a workshop during a company's Keeping in Touch Day as part of their return to work support for parents. Or you might co-host a session with a baby massage instructor, combining your skills in one offer. All of these cases, you're not the one building the audience. You're adding value to a space that already exists, and that can be a huge win for both your confidence and your visibility. And some consultants offer these kinds of sessions free to start with, especially if they're building experience or, they want to test a new topic, and others turn them into a paid speaking opportunity or, create longer term partnerships where they cross-refer clients or co-deliver packages. But the key is choosing collaborations that align with your values and feel good to deliver, and being really clear from the start of the process who's managing the logistics, who's managing the promotion, and any of the income that's coming in. How are you sharing that? If you're someone who enjoys working alongside others, or you want to grow your reach without relying solely on social media, this can be a smart and supportive model to include in your business. Okay, and if you're thinking about collaborations, here are a few questions to help you explore whether this model fits. Who in my network, online or locally, is already working with families I'd love to support? Would I feel confident offering a short guest session or sleep Q&A in someone else's group or program? Do I enjoy working collaboratively, or do I prefer creating and leading things on my own? Could this model help me build confidence and visibility without needing to promote everything myself? So now that you've seen the 5 most common consultation models, I hope you're starting to see that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to building a sleep coaching business. This isn't about choosing what everyone else is doing. It's about finding out what works for you, like your lifestyle, your values, and the kind of support that you want to offer. So to help you reflect, here are 7 key questions to ask yourself. What time of day am I realistically available to work with families? Do I enjoy working one-to-one or in groups, or a mixture of both? Do I feel confident in delivering support on video, or do I prefer phone or in-person support? What kind of support do I most enjoy offering? Quick guidance or deeper follow-up support? Do I want to serve clients locally or expand beyond my area? And am I energized by working solo, or do I thrive in collaborations? And what pricing feels fair and sustainable for the support that I want to give? These are the kinds of questions that we help you work through inside of the Holistic Sleep Coaching Program. Now, it's not just theory, but it's real practical ways to match your goals with your energy and your season of life, because your business doesn't exist in a vacuum. It has to fit around your family, your well-being, and your vision for what you want this to become. And you don't have to figure this out all alone. So if you'd like support, whether you're just thinking about becoming a sleep consultant, or you've already trained and you want to build something that's truly viable, there's a link below to book a clarity call with us. And that's where we're going to talk through where you're at, what do you want your business to look like, and what the next step might look like for you. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which model are you leaning towards right now? Or which of the 7 questions gave you the most clarity? Okay, thanks so much for being here. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm going to see you in the next one.